and welcome to yet another episode of the Beard Al Podcast, the podcast about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. Now, for those of you keeping score at home, you know that we've got our good friend Polka Bob involved in all of these goings on, and you take a look at the Even Worse album, and you're saying to yourself, "There's no polka on this album."
Do not adjust your speakers. Polka Bob is here when there is no polka.
So
wait. There's not a polka? We're not here to talk about a polka today?
not today, Bob.
Well,
What am I doing here again?
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know. Well, so when we last heard from Polka Bob on this very program, we were preparing for this, eventuality to occur. And we said, so Bob, I guess you get to pick whatever song you want to talk about on Even Worse, because there's no polkas. And Bob picked You Make Me. So first of all, welcome, Polka Bob. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's really weird to be here and not be ready to talk about a polka.
I know.
Yeah. And,
You can take the polka out of the album, but you can't take the polka out of Bob.
right.
Right.
He's got the polka in his heart and a spring in his step. I don't know what that means. But yeah, I was a little surprised because this is a great song, but you don't get much farther from a polka than this.
I don't know. This is pretty frantic and pretty upbeat, and it's got a polka vibe to it. To me, it's very like fast paced, and
Okay.
So polkas are typically happy songs.
yeah.
Yes.
This is a happy song.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very upbeat, very frantic.
Right. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
this, to me, it's a nice substitute for a polka.
Side note, if there were going to be a polka on this album, which I don't think we've ever discussed, be with me on this. The hair metal polka.
So be with me on
Because
this.
no, that should be a thing because hair metal was the big thing in 87, 88. There absolutely should have been a hair metal polka.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. And I'm saying be with me on this.
Mhm.
At some point, maybe we'll do an episode and map out what we feel this would have or should have been included on the hair metal polka
Okay.
if it were to be included on this album.
Okay.
So
I got thoughts.
yeah, I'm sure you do. We all do. So yes, today we are talking about You Make Me, which obviously is on the album Even Worse because that's what we're talking about now. And it's a style parody of Oingo Boingo and that ilk. Yes?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. So I looked it up, and because, all right, Oingo Boingo, do I
You were
know,
like, there's other music than polkas? All right. I guess
right?
I guess
So
I'll
I had
look into
to.
it.
I mean, I had to almost broke my Spotify looking, but so I looked at Oingo Boingo. Do I know any Oingo Boingo songs? And I knew one.
Yeah. I
And it was-
figured like
and-
everybody
and
knows
I knew,
at least the one.
I knew one. It's Weird Science.
Yeah.
and so
yeah.
I play-
everyone knows at least.
So I
Weird
play
Science.
Weird Science,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I hear it. I mean, just that one song, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I hear it. I hear the style. I can see why this would be a stylistic parody. I just had to hear the one song, and I heard it immediately.
Yeah. Well, I feel like most people that know anything about Oingo Boingo usually know Oingo Boingo from the credit of anything they know Danny Elfman's scores from. And then when they read about Danny Elfman, it's like Danny Elfman did the score for this, formerly of Oingo Boingo.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like,
Yep.
and that's what people usually know the name from. And then they'll usually hear the song Weird Science and someone will be like, that's all. And they're like, oh, the guy from the Simpsons or whatever, or not the Simpsons, but the Batman score. Like he used to be in this group. I read that once. But like, yeah, when you hear at a minimum that one song, you're like, oh, yep, that totally checks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
And it's a good stylistic parody. It sounds like an Oingo Boingo song.
It does.
It really
And
hits
to an
it.
extent, that genre of new wave as a whole, like I disagree. I've heard this song described regularly as a style parody of new wave in general, and I vehemently disagree with that. Like new wave as a whole is a much different sound than this song.
Yes.
I agree.
I think that there's silos of new wave, like specific silos of new wave, and like this falls into that. Like for me, Oingo Boingo came out of like what Devo was doing, which is not a giant surprise that Weird Al would be drawn to that type of that version of new wave, right? Because this does not, to me, sound in any way like I don't know, New Order, or you know what I mean? Like it's even early Depeche Mode. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't sound anything like that, right? So I think it's erroneous to go, oh no, You Make Me is just a new wave parody. No, it is not. It's specific to one. I don't even call it an Oingo Boingo style parody. I just think it's specific to one type of new wave.
Sure, and
in my opinion.
No, and that's fair. I think Oingo Boingo is probably just the most shining example of that.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying it's wrong to say it's. Let me say this. I think it's more correct to point toward Oingo Boingo than new wave. Like I've heard people say new wave, and when they say just new wave, I'm like, no.
It's much more. It's definitely with the guitar and the interesting sounds in the background.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sound like the pots and the pans and the horns. It sounds like Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there, I was like, okay, let's listen to some Oingo Boingo, and I could hear it. It was like, oh, and every song is just like, oh, this is their style. And Al does a great job of picking, when he does a stylistic parody, picking someone who has a distinctive style so that you can hear and go, oh, that is this. And that is a style parody of this. So if Al decides, hey, I'm doing Beastie Boys, sounds like the Beastie Boys. If Al decides, hey, I'm doing White Stripes, it sounds like the White Stripes. In this case, it sounds like Oingo Boingo.
Yeah. And I think, you're absolutely hitting that. Like the one thing that Al is really good at, and it's like he's musically forensic, meaning he is looking for the things that will make your ears do that thing that you mentioned, go, oh, I recognize this for what it is, right?
Right.
And to quote this song, I can't exactly seem to put my finger on it, but you know, when you listen to like Oingo Boingo or the White Stripes or this, that, and the others, like there's just a vibe to it. I mean, the My Own Eyes, the Foo Fighters one, that's like dead on. And you can't, other than saying, this sounds like the Foo Fighters. Like it's so hard for a casual listener to like nail in the specifics, you know, because I've got a list here about this song that says, a jittery new wave rhythm, quirky chord changes, frantic vocal phrasing, and start-stop dynamics and rhythmic surprises, like you're saying with the pots and pans. But like that's just a list of stuff. And he somehow manages to put it into the song and make you go, this is exactly what I think it is without being that thing. And by this point on the Even Worse album, he's had a lot of time to get that kind of thing correct. You know, like Mr. Popeil on In 3D, and then Dare to Be Stupid on Dare to Be Stupid. Dog Eat Dog on Polka Party all stand out to me as standout style parodies. But like he just keeps getting better at doing that thing.
It feels like on this album, Al's leveled up. If this was a video game, it's like, oh, we're at the next level. It feels like, especially with the stylistic parodies on here, it feels like Al is, I know who I am. I know what I want to do. Let's get some production behind this and let's make this awesome.
Yep.
And you can just feel that Al, at this point in his career, Al knows, I know what I can do. Let's go do it.
Well, I think also to both of your point, I think that having the guts to put this on this album speaks to the confidence of the confidence in the material that surrounds it. So, and I was trying to be more careful on how I say that. So this makes it sound like I'm insulting this song, and I'm not. I love this song. But the three of us know, and I assume anybody who listens to the show understands, this is left field.
Yeah, this is not as accessible as a lot of the other stuff.
This is the bleachers in this. Actually, I'm sorry. This is the parking lot in left field. This is a style parody of a genre within a genre, right? In order to put this on a record confidently, you have to have surrounded it with a very good album. Right. And I mean, who even knows? I mean, we don't know a lot about when Weird Al wrote certain things, especially things that aren't timely, right? Like, for example, we know that he didn't write Fat in, say, 1984.
No.
On account of Bad not existing until October of 87, right? But, like, who knows how long he was sitting on this song? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
He might have been like, okay, this record is that strong. Now I can throw this on there, right?
Yeah.
And I think that says a lot about how strong this record is, to where he was just like, you know what? Now's the time. I can put this on that album. And I hope my point is coming across about, like, I'm not saying that, like, oh, this record's so good that he could put this crappy song on there. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this record is so good that he could be like, I can trust that I'm going to put this song that is so out in left field on there, that the album is so good that people are going to, like, be okay with this.
Right.
I hope I'm making my
you've made a great point. You made a great point. Now, I will say, I don't know how long he was sitting on this. There are some things in here that date this song.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's interesting is, so Al always has a song on every album that is pop culture of right then, right there.
Well, I mean,
right.
Well, yeah, there's a lot.
A lot of them are TV songs, television songs, because he does a lot of those, but there's always a song. This album, this is the song. This is the song where he does his pop culture references that firmly put this song right in the 80s. So, Care Bears movie. And there's nothing more 80s than Care Bears. Care Bears movie.
Lauren sent us some notes earlier, and there was a reference to the Gong Show in it, but I remember, like, the Gong Show was like 70s.
Do you know why the Gong Show's in there?
No, I don't.
I do.
Is it?
You tell me, Bob.
Because that's where Oingo Boingo made their first appearance.
Oh, right.
Was on the Gong Show.
Okay, there you go.
And
okay.
so the reason the Gong Show's in there is because that's where Oingo Boingo made their first appearance.
Okay, see.
I thought it was like you did, because I remember watching old Gong Show episodes.
Oh, yeah.
In the 80s. So, Lauren, have you ever seen an episode of the Gong Show?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I
have.
Yeah,
for anybody listening,
that was like appointment viewing for the family when I was a kid. Name that too. Surprise.
Right.
My family used to watch that, and then this is probably before everyone's time, including everyone listening to the episode. But my mom and I, there was appointment viewing for my mom and I, whether anybody else in the family was watching or not. It was Gong Show, Name That Tune, and then the Barbara Mandrell Show. Like, all three of those.
I am very familiar with the Barbara Mandrell show.
Non-negotiable.
Yes.
Yep.
And very much enjoyed the Barbara Mandrell show when I was young.
Yep.
Russ, you and I are about the same age. So for anybody listening who is probably under 30 and has never heard of the Gong Show, this was a show, a talent show. And when we say talent, we use that term very, very loosely. And the judges were, you want to call them celebrities, but there was a guy who is a frequent judge who just had a bag over his head.
Yep.
And so they were the C-list. These are like the actors who couldn't get on Hollywood Squares.
Right.
And they would have a big gong. And if the talent was especially putrid, they'd go hit the gong. And so it was fun and funny. And that's where Oingo Boingo made which is why it was added to the thing. So yes, it's a 70s reference rather than an 80s. Care Bears puts it in the 80s. So in 87, there was an ad campaign called Pork, the other white meat.
Yes, I'm familiar.
And that came out right before. So about the time he's writing this album. I also think there was a commercial about recommended bleach. about the same time there in the 80s.
Yes.
So in putting these things in there, Al is specifically putting this song in a moment in time.
Yes. Oh my God. You use the recommended bleach. That's so funny.
So
Yeah, you're right. Because I'm looking at Care Bears movie came out in 1985.
mhm.
You know, so there's plenty of time. But yeah,
the pork came
the pork
that
thing.
commercial came out in, I want to say, March of 87.
let's find out.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's
yeah.
so. I think it's right there, early, which should be about the time that Al writes his stylistic parodies, because
Right.
he does that. He always does the parodies, straight parodies, last, so they're more current.
1987, Bob. Pork, the other white meat, was
Yeah.
a advertising slogan developed by advertising agency Bozell, Jacobs, Kenyon, and Eckhart in 1987 for the National Pork Board.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, the 80s were real big with IHOP type places selling Belgian waffles.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
that was a very popular thing, and I want to say that trend ended somewhere in the 80s. But I want to say, so it feels like Al he always has a pop culture song to put it in a time spot. I think this is that song for this album. I can't think of another song in this album that has so much pop culture specifically in the song.
Yeah, because there's not really. That's a really good point. Because if you think to obviously on in 3D, the Brady Bunch, talking about all the stuff that's on TV
Mhm.
at the time. You know, yeah, you get a lot of
Couch Potato does it.
Couch Potato does that.
So he always has a song that places the album firmly in the time that it's in. And sometimes it's the polka. The Angry White Boy polka puts that firmly right in the time spot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like, this is today's music right here.
That's
So
a good point. That's a really good. Yeah, this song, you know, it sounds like the 80s for sure because of the genre in a genre. And all the things that he's pointing out, I never really thought that deep about the recommended bleach. It's like, okay, because that's just a thing people say. It's just a thing people say. And I truly thank you for putting together the pork, the other white meat thing for me, because that line, you make me want to eat pork. I'm just like, okay,
Right.
It's just absurd enough that I just accepted it.
Yeah.
So this is the pulp culture song. So I do have a question though.
Sure.
Is this a love song?
So I would say so. And I've said it, and Weird Al has said it, because in the liner notes for Permanent Record /
did?
Al in the Box, he says, quote, "This is about as close as I've ever come to writing a real love song." So
Okay.
I think it's a love song.
The reason why I think is because, well, I mean, my first impression of it when I was a kid was it just, to me, sounded like a person that would go to like any lengths for someone. He doesn't expressly say that he doesn't want to do any of these things in a song, but like, you make me want to do this makes it sound like he doesn't, or these are things that he wouldn't do normally.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I famously don't watch any sports at all. And if I was to say to anyone, like, you make me want to watch, football, that anyone I know would be like, oh, wow, you must like her. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
So at least that's how my mind works. Like, when I see a list of like all these things you make me want to do, I think those are things you wouldn't want to do. So you must be about this person. That's how I took it when I was a kid. And I would argue too, none of the things, at least none of the things are Weird Al egregious.
Right.
Like, none of them are like, where he will end up with like bodily harm and hurting others. And
Yeah, most of them are fairly.
yeah. Like,
Other
There's
than the
bodily
sting-
harm to itself.
well, yeah, but I mean, like, severe, like usual Weird Al stuff is like really, really, like,
I don't know if you've ever stapled bagels to your face,
I haven't.
but that sounds like it would hurt.
And then remove
Yeah.
them with a pitchfork.
Yeah. But I mean, by and large,
But that is one of the last lines of the song.
Yeah,
so
but
it's towards the end, and so it feels like it's almost
it could even
building
be
to
getting
that.
more off the rails,
Right.
as the song goes. But like by and large, most Weird Al fan songs go like to the extreme real quick, and this is more like a lot of like just quick list things that aren't to the extreme that he usually goes into those type of places, so.
I like it. So I like thinking about it as, okay, I agree. It's a love song. And as a kid, that's my first thought was a love song. But today I was just thinking, what if this is an enemy song? You make me want to do this.
Oh, yeah.
You make me want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, so what if it's an enemy song? Or what if it's a coworker song? Hey, you make me want.
No, yeah. Well, either way, I mean, it's a strong feeling song. Either way.
Right.
This song is not ambivalent. You feel strong one way or another. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's true. The only time that, I really feel compelled to do something one way or another is whether I love it or hate it.
Right? That's what I thought. It'd be interesting if this was an enemy song, but
yeah, I could see it being
it feels more like a love song.
I mean, he
said it was a love
said
song.
so, because like your brain does weird things when you're like in love or infatuated.
Yes.
It's just like I don't even know what's going on. Well, it feels like a good time to send it over to some ads.
Sure.
Just because otherwise we'll get too deep in conversation and I'll forget to do it. And then when I'm editing this, I'll be mad at myself. So this is welcome to my inner monologue.
Mm-hmm. And like Lauren always says, don't complain about the ads because the internet is entirely what you make of it. And, when you sit around and you engage in negativity all the time on social media and then you tell your friends all the time, I don't know why I'm so drained all the time. It's because you openly choose to engage with all the negativity on social media. And then when ads play and it's, ads for politics and stuff, that's because you chose to click on politics all the time. So don't do that anymore. And if you click on positive things, you'll start getting ads for things that are positive instead. So after you get done fast forwarding through the negative ads, think about what you did and then come back and listen to the rest of us being fun and positive and stop doing that in the future.
Okay, here you go. Oh, we're not back yet. I'm faking you out. Here's more ads.
Good one.
And we're really back.
And we're back. Man of the can, get back in that can.
Russ was saying that what you click on is what the ads you get.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a VPN on my phone and I set it to Brazil just because. So I have no idea what ads I'm getting because they're in Spanish.
Oh, that's great.
And so I have absolutely no idea what ads I'm getting or what I clicked on because it's in Spanish. I don't know.
That's amazing.
That's great.
That's great. Yeah, well, somebody, if you speak Spanish and or Portuguese, get at me regarding Bob's ads.
Yeah.
You can tell me what I clicked on.
Oh, yeah, what I clicked on.
And if they're positive or negative, because I really don't know.
Oh, my God. I love it. So, Belladonna, it's a big fat dog, has just crashed the room because she's like, I hear you guys laughing and having a good time in there. So, on the other side of these ads, so we've agreed, we're all in agreement that this is a love song. And so I want to talk a little bit about the album as a whole, because I mean, those of you don't all need to know what's going on in our lives here, but I feel like you need to know that this is one of those rare moments in time where we have a guest in the house. So Bob is here in person. Polka Bob is literally in the house, not figuratively in the house.
So I got to watch Russ roll the chair over from the other room.
Yeah, and it's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Right?
So he's seen exactly how much I go through.
Right.
Right. I've seen the effort.
Yeah. And I also need the people to know that the three of us enjoyed some lovely pizza, and we listened to Even Worse in its entirety while enjoying said pizza. So one of the things that I absolutely love about this album is that I think it's sequenced so well.
Oh, it's a masterclass in a track list. like you've heard me go on in the past about how sequencing and track listings matter. I would put this up against nearly any other record that came out the same year.
Yeah.
As far as like how it flows and how that like, and I think we've already discussed this at least a couple of times in the episodes prior, but every other album that came out that year was by artists who were tasked with doing one genre, right? This cat's doing, I don't know, 10, or 11 different genres on the one album. And how you sequence this album as well as it is beyond me. Like, and there's no way to rearrange this record and have it come out any better than it.
No, this is done perfectly.
So it's a matter of, and there was some intent when he is writing the album and writing songs for the album. There's some intent on, this is what I want. The genres are so all over the place. It's like, where do you start? How do you go? Okay, this is what I want. This is where I'm going for. I mean, and there's not a polka on this album because the polka usually has a particular spot, and there's not a polka on this album. So I'm sure that at the beginning he had his start point with Fat. It has to be the first song on the album.
If nothing else, because
he has to have
the first track.
He has to end with Good Old Days. So he's got his closer, he's got his opener, but everything in the middle has to be wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be wide open. I mean, where do you go? What do you do?
Necessarily that, because I mean, he doesn't always have to open his album with the lead single, but if you're going to have the cover be with the cover, a direct, because the cover of In 3D wasn't a direct parody of Thriller, but if you're going to have the album cover be a direct parody of the cover of Bad, then you better have the opening track be the direct parody of Bad, since Bad's the first track on Bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. So, like, and then, of course, yes, it's the album's going to close with Good Old Days. And then in the middle, it's like if you had given me these songs in that year and been like, sequence this, I would have taken all the songs and been like, listened to all of them and been like, no, thank you, and walked out.
Right. Where I'm betting Al was like, all right, this is where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I want to go.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the many things that makes him and me,
right,
the person who would have set everything back down and been like, okay, well, this album's not coming out. If it's up to me,
Well, and like I said, like the reason why this is sequenced so incredibly well, and like we literally just listened to it, so I was just like, oh man, this is all making so much sense in my brain, because this song, for as good as it is, if it doesn't have the right stuff leading up to it, this could be kind of exhausting.
No, that's on Off the Deep End.
Oh, the right stuff.
There
Yeah, thank you. And so like opening with Fat, obviously all the sense in the world, and then Fat into Stuck in a Closet, perfect sense, and then Stuck in a Closet into 6 Words Long, perfect sense. And so like after 6 Words Long ends, it's like,
where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? And this is where you go, and then you close the side out with I Think I'm a Clone Now.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like no notes at all. It's perfect.
I mean, it's definition of chef's kiss.
And I Think I'm a Clone Now was such a big hit at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I Think I'm Alone Now, Tiffany. It was everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna obviously heavily get into this, but like the fact that 2 different people from 2 completely different genres had huge hits with Tommy James covers is awesome, and both of their covers are so wildly different than the originals. Like if you go listen to Tommy James' version of it, I think We're Alone Now, it's wildly different than Tiffany's cover.
Mm-hmm.
And Moni Moni, well, and again, there's 2 different versions of Billy Idol's Moni Moni, but the original version of Moni Moni is quite a bit different than both versions of Billy Idol's. And so Weird Al's tasked with like, well, how am I going to fit this in here? And, and the fact that, again, I'm circling back to the same point, but holy cow, just the fact that all of this works together is just
right. No, this album is a masterclass.
Yep.
And I really feel that this is Al putting together I'm good at this, and you're about to see how good I am at this.
Yep.
And this is a level up. The whole album this is a level up. And I think that he was very intentional about what songs he was going to put in the album, and he was very intentional about how this album was going to sound and what the order was going to. He was just I think that he did this album with a very clear idea of this is what I'm doing and this is why I'm doing it. And it came across to me, it was huge. It was huge.
I can't remember if I've mentioned this already. I may have in one of the episodes leading up to this, but as defensive as I am of Polka Party as a whole, the parodies on Polka Party, the hits, the songs that he parodied just plain were not big enough hits to where I was never able to hang my hat on that record. Like I could never, to an average music fan, I could never be like, no, you don't understand how great this guy is, because I would have to like do all the heavy lifting on like, okay, well, like Ruthless People really isn't that great of a song, but you got to hear like what he did with it, like, and so on. Here's Johnny and so on. Right. With this, this was the first record where I could like be like, all right, open up your Bibles to Al 4:1 because I'm about to talk, you know, and like any track on this, I could just be like, all right, you're about to get learned, son, and like and from production on, I mean it's a perfect album.
It really sets the tone going forward for the albums that come after this. It's very much
that's fact.
It's very much hey, I know what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to do this, and watch me work. And he just keeps getting better and better. And by the time you get to his last 3 albums, it's a masterclass in, I know I'm good. I know what I'm doing. Just sit and listen.
Yeah.
And I know
and have fun.
I know I've mentioned this on the show before. I don't think in the Even Worse series, but do you know how many people I've like had to correct's not the right word, but take away from the misunderstanding. There's such a large amount of people that think that Weird Al is like almost a karaoke artist, like he just uses the same backing tracks because he's from Even Worse on became him and his team became so good at recreating the production. And I don't want to regress totally and go back into a Fat episode, but you take Fat, that song Bad was labored on by, Bruce Swedian and Greg Fillinganes and Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson for 18 months. And then you have Al and his band came pretty damn close to that production on their own. This is not, they didn't have notes from Quincy and Bruce and Greg and Michael. They listened to the same track we did. And damn near recreated that track. And then going forward, they would do that. And then you talk to people like with Pentiums or Nirvana or whatever, insert track here. I have had to like tell people like, that him and his band, like recreate all that from scratch. Right. And people, and like, not even in an insulting way, people are like, wait, what?
Yeah. From scratch.
Like I remember
their ear
and
is
Lauren
that
knows this.
good.
I had a friend of mine when I lived in Tampa for a couple of years back when, in the mid 90s, when, Hair Day came out. Him and I, he's a huge Weird Al fan, and him and I used to drive to Orlando all the time, and we listened to Hair Day constantly. And it was phony calls was the thing that like, he was like, he's like we were having the discussion about how Weird Al doesn't have to get permission, but he does. And then he was like, I can't believe that their producer, loaned him this track. And I was like, what are you even what? And he was like, it's just weird. Like hip hop people are like so picky and choosy over what and I was like, I don't understand. Like, I didn't understand what he was saying. And then eventually it came out that he was like, well, yeah, doesn't he just use the original tracks? And I was like, what?
No.
Like, yeah. And so, and this was a guy who like went back to like at least UHF with Weird Al, and I was like, how do you not know that? Like, I was like, no, like they had to so anyways, I know it was a really long-winded way of saying it, but like this to me, this album is the start of, and there are some great production things on albums before this, but this one is the one where I think everything on it is produced just beautifully, and it's like everything is great. It's all like uphill from here. Like to your point, I think that this is the statement album. Like
this is who I am.
Yeah,
this is what I can do, and he puts
me
it all
and the people that do
album.
this are really good at what we do, and you're fitting to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's I think like and again, this is several episodes from now, but we had just listened to it a little bit ago. But like the production on Alimony, like
no, that's amazing.
It's
amazing.
I mean, it's almost everything about it sounds almost the same.
Right.
It's fantastic.
The fact that they can recreate that is amazing.
Yep.
It just is.
Yeah.
So I had 2 reasons for choosing this song. You mentioned it at the top.
Yes.
So I had 2 reasons. So reason number 1 is this is my favorite type of original song where Al takes to list things and some of them are just completely off the wall, weasel in his pants. Go to a trailer park. Just some are very normal, and then some are just off the wall, and he sings it just so straight. So yeah, it's what it's like. This is what it is. And so he's got several songs like that, and I love those songs. I mean, Everything We Know Is Wrong is probably the absolute pinnacle of those types of songs.
Yeah.
But One of Those Days is amazing. This one's amazing too. I really enjoy. And so that's when I was picking songs, it's like, no, that's the one.
That's the one for me, but that's the one for Bob.
And reason number 2, I swear I've seen him perform this one in concert. But I went, so I swear. And it had the colored lights and the sign that said, "You Make Me" on the sign behind him. I swear I've seen it in concert. But I looked at the Set FM list and looked at the concerts I've been to, and it's showing based on the Set FM list that I haven't seen it in concert.
Oh, are you having a Mandela effect about Weird Al?
I know I've seen this one, and I know I've seen him twice. I think that on the Set FM list that they have Melanie listed instead of "You Make Me," and they incorrectly have Melanie on there because I don't remember seeing him do Melanie in concert at the big shows, and I definitely remember seeing "You Make Me."
Well, you know how I feel about Melanie fans, so they're always making stuff up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm
guessing the accuracy.
Joke aside, as a person who has been responsible for not only correcting many setlist FM mistakes over time, including where I've had to submit my own audio bootlegs and video bootlegs over time to prove people wrong who have cursed me out in the comment sections of Setlist FM, where I've been like, no, but for real, though, they didn't do that song that night, or it wasn't in that order. And then I've had to like submit my own audio recording of the complete show and be like, you're still wrong. They didn't do that song. You're probably right, Bob, that somebody probably submitted the wrong thing.
So it would be 96 and 2000, the concerts here in Jacksonville. And I swear I've seen him perform that song. It's perform it twice because I looked up a video. I saw him do if you Google it, you can find it, him doing it in 2013. And I remember the colors. I remember the "You Make Me." I remember the little flowers. I remember all the things from it. It's like, yeah, I've definitely seen this in concert.
You should, for those who can't see, which is everyone, Lauren has just Googled this Setlist FM for that show that Bob's talking about. You should submit a comment that says for track 6 there, just a comment with no notes that says Bob says that they didn't do Melanie here.
Oh.
You should just just
Polka Bob says.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you want to submit some authority with that,
Right.
But
Polka Bob says.
Yeah, Polka Bob says.
New comment. I need to. I'll have.
Yeah, you got to sign
Yeah,
it
because
and all that jazz.
I remember in 2000, I remember it being the opener, and Melanie's listed as the second song. I remember it being the opener at that concert
In 2007.
and maybe it was 2007.
Yeah, something like that.
It's something like that. Well,
but yeah.
So
but
I
yeah,
went to all the concerts that he did at the all of the concerts that he did at the Florida Theater downtown, with the exception of the one in 92, because I didn't go to the one in 92, and I really wish I had. But with the exception, I went to all of them. All the ones that were in the Florida Theater, I was at every single one of those shows.
I saw him at the Florida Theater in on the Mandatory World Tour.
Okay.
So I've seen him there too.
I was there.
And ironically, we were just at the Florida Theater the other night for a Michael Jackson tribute concert.
That's
so
true.
It's a great place to see a show, isn't it?
It was a fantastic show too.
I really, so the Florida Theater is old as anything, but
it's a fantastic show.
Wonderful place to see a show. It is so great.
For a non-Jacksonville native, there's some great connections to it for me. Like, it was the first indoor venue Elvis Presley ever played in his life. Wow. Because when he blew up, he was just so big that they were like, whatever field we can put him in. The first indoor venue he ever played. And then just recently, Lauren and I went and saw epic Elvis Presley in concert, this new magnificent film of a bunch of unearthed footage of Elvis in my favorite era, 70 and 72. And it's a 2-minute thing, but it's footage I'd never seen of him. And he's in a limo in 1972. And as soon as it came on screen, I knew it was Elvis in Jacksonville because of the suit he was wearing. Long story why I know that, but I do. And when he's driving down the road, he's pointing there, and he goes, "Oh, right over there's the first indoor theater I ever played." And you don't see the Florida Theater, but as soon as he came on screen, I leaned to Lauren. I said, "He's in Jacksonville," and I can tell because of the suit he's wearing. And then as soon as I said that, he started pointing. He goes, "Right over there's the first indoor theater I ever played," and I was like, "See." I knew it. Yeah, so that was fun. But
Florida Theater that's great that you've seen
venue. Weird Al there like so many times. Like, it's such a great
and I've seen him from
history.
And I've seen him from the back row. I've seen him from the front row.
Yeah.
I was there when he was on top of the lady sitting next to me he did Lover. Want to be your lover. I mean, I'm not kidding. So I don't know who she was, but I have seen her at lots of. It's the mark for that. And I was sitting next to her, had no idea who it was.
I think a lot of times it's Suzanne.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. So there was an older lady and a younger lady, and he did it with a younger lady. The older lady, I'm pretty sure, was Suzanne. So which I got to talk to and meet, and had no idea who it was.
Just there,
just there. So that front row ticket. So I got a front row ticket, got a $10 ticket, which was the back row, but it was neat to get a $10 ticket.
I always tell people that all the time. I know we're way off the reservation here, but I tell people that all the time, man. There's so many artists I've seen that I tell people that, I'm like, I was in the back row, but I was there. I'm like, there's certain shows they could have sold me a ticket in the bathroom.
Right.
And I
100%.
And I'd have been, if I was in the building, that's fine with me, So it's, nowadays, a lot of the artists that are coming up now, it's like, if you could make sure, if there's a way I could pay to not be in the building, that'd be cool.
So what I like about the Florida Theater is the buses are out front.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you wait, they're eventually going to come out.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I've met Al 3 times at his bus, waiting till after the VIP and after all that stuff. And there's always a little bit of a line. So I've waited 3 times. The first time I had no idea what was going on. I was just taking my time leaving and saw the lines. Like, what's going on? Oh, we're going to meet Al. Are we really? Like, we're going to meet Al. All right, well, I'll wait. Because I had nowhere to go.
Like, eventually, 2 things will happen today. What? Well, the sun will rise and I will meet Al.
And so I waited and got to meet Al. I had him sign and so what they said is you can he'll sign something or he'll take a picture. So I had him, he signed my ticket. The next time I was ready. So the next time I got a picture with him. And so the third time I had the picture. So I had a signed picture of me and Al so I got 3 times I met him. And by the 4th time I had a signed picture of me and Al, like you'd see in like the restaurants, the real tacky stuff.
Here's what I
love
want
it.
next
It's
time
beautiful.
though. The next time I want you to go and I'm going to take a picture of you holding that picture.
Ooh, I like it.
And so we're going to have an Alception.
Oh,
I like it. That's clever. I have
And then
not
the
thought of
time
that.
after that, we'll have Al sign that picture of you holding that picture of you and Al.
this is
It's gonna be,
I like it.
It's going to be
great.
great.
it's gonna be marvelous. Well,
Which, by the way, to bring it back,
thank you.
is all things the person in this song would do. They would
100%.
They would go to lengths like that.
You make me want to take a picture with Weird Al.
Yep.
I like it.
So, I was just kind of like digging around, just some factoids about the song because I think it's really, really interesting. We were talking about how, this song sounds exactly like what it's supposed to sound like, and so the arrangement of it is like really dense because that's what Oingo Boingo stuff is, and then it's very keyboard and synth driven. And I was just looking it up. There's a gentleman by the name of Kim Bullard who played the synth on this. And he has quite the extensive repertoire. He is currently a member of the Elton John Band.
Wow.
Playing keyboards in the Elton John Band. But he has played synth or keyboards on many things, the likes of, he was in Poco, but, he played, he did keyboard programming for Yes. He played keyboards for Kenny Loggins, Steve Lukather albums, the Doobie Brothers.
He's just an around
He's
the way
just
guy.
an around, he knows an around.
Session
Wow.
guy, yeah.
He's a session guy, but he's done a lot of Weird
He
Al.
played on the second White Lion record.
Yeah, he did a lot of Weird Al stuff.
Or I think that's the third White Lion album. But anyways.
So he played the clavinet on the Rembrandts album. So he was there for you.
Right.
So yeah, he's just.
Oh, no. He played on an Enough's Enough album.
He did, and he also did beats on the Downward Spiral.
I see.
So
Yeah, but
So he's the session guy.
he's absolutely a session
I am
guy.
not a fan of Enough's Enough.
Well, work's work though. Money is money. He did horn arrangements for some Disney stuff. So yeah, but anyway, he got brought in. Obviously, Al knew what he was doing, and Rick Derringer was producing this at the time, and they were like, we need some session stuff to really beef up the keyboard synth stuff because Ruben wasn't in the band yet.
No, they didn't have Ruben yet.
So this was all Al doing what needed to be done, and so they brought him in, and he's played on almost everything of Al's up through Alpocalypse. So the guy comes in and does some keyboard stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've shown you a lot of the videos about like a lot of the session guys, that like guitarists and stuff that all play on each other's stuff. A lot of times, once you find a guy that you can count on and like gels with you, that they call a lot of the same guys. A lot of times, just somebody comes in and works out once, they're like, call that guy again, so we don't have to worry about egos and times and people coming in and going, well, I had some ideas for your song. No one wants to hear your ideas.
No,
come in, play the
great.
charts. Yeah, come in, play the charts, and leave.
That's it.
So
I love it. Anything in particular either of you wanted to make sure got added to this conversation?
I mean,
I'm just like, because I know sometimes
I mean,
you got
it's
things.
just I know like so many of these even worse discussions, at least for me, are such gushing sessions. But like what Bob said, if you're sick of that, then don't listen to the entirety of the rest of the series. And by the rest of the series, I mean not just even worse, but every single song on the whole rest of the albums, because it's just going to get going to get more gushy from here. Because to me, like you said, Bob, this and not to steal your point, but to me, this album is the like the start, the statement. It's like, okay, I'm real good at this, and like from here, it's all uphill from here. Like,
Right.
you know,
Well, because you know what comes next.
yeah.
I mean, after this album, we get the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have to say that this album is a huge success
Mhm.
because after this, it's like, all right, let's give him a budget. Let's see what he can do with the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And so, which is just a cult classic.
It's so good. It's so,
So,
good. Well, I
but
can't wait to get into
I have
that.
so many UHF stories to tell. Like when we get to that, it's you don't even know.
Yeah. And I get to come back for a polka.
Yeah, Hot Rocks
You do?
polka. That's what you get to talk about next time. Brush up on your Rolling Stones. I would like to, I've been trying to get some feedback from folks online, and I get a couple of comments here or there. So I'm going to leave some pointed questions that I'm going to ask some folks about this song, and maybe who knows, if you comment in time, maybe I'll give you a shout out on the next episode. So and we can touch on these real quickly, like lightning round style, if we care to. Does this song work if you don't know Oingo Boingo? Bob is nodding yes.
Yes.
Definitely. I didn't know if you were looking for the
You
feedback. No, absolutely. Because again, to go back to the original point, like I knew the song Weird Science because I liked the movie when I was a kid.
Right.
You know,
Of course.
But like when I got this record, as soon as the song started, I wasn't like, oh yes, the Oingo Boingo,
The Oingo Boingo.
style parody. Like, it didn't even cross my mind that that's what it was. You know, I loved the song immediately. Side note, what's funny is my parents were pretty Weird Al tolerant for the most part, because they liked a lot of the original material that he was doing parodies of or style parodies of. There were a very few songs over time that I remember, like mostly my dad, but my mom every so often being like because most in the car we had a cassette player that would start, and my mom or my dad being like, you need to fast forward this song. And every single time you make me started, my mom would be like, you need to fast forward that song. Cause it was too frantic for her. The song made her get jittery. And she
Oh,
didn't
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
And my mom was like really liked relaxed music. Big Roger Whittaker, Elvis fan.
Okay.
Like, she really liked relaxed music. Simon and Garfunkel. She's the reason we watch the Barbara Mandrell show all the time.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So as soon as this song started, even before, like with the guitar, even before the drum thing, every time she'd be like, can you fast forward this one?
Right.
Because she just didn't like how frantic the song was. But yeah, I like, for me, I never had any issue with it. I think it totally works on its own.
Yeah.
I am curious how many of your listeners outside of me and Russ are familiar with the Barbara Mandrell show.
Yeah.
Okay, so comment if
curious.
you're familiar at all with the Barbara Mandrell show. Leave me a comment. I will absolutely give you a shout out if you can tell me anything about the Barbara Mandrell
Let me tell
show.
you how much I know about the Barbara Mandrell show, and this is real. I'm not a brand person. Like in very few things in life do I care about brands about.
Oh, I thought you said Bran.
No, I like brand a lot.
Okay.
You're aware of this. I don't care very much about brand. No, brand. And one of the things is, and especially as a person of a certain age, the more hair you lose, I go to the, whenever it's time to need new shampoo or conditioner, I go to the aisle and I'm just like, you're on sale. And I just grab shampoo or conditioner. And last time I needed conditioner, I went to the aisle and I was like, you're on sale. And I picked it up and it was White Rain, which Barbara Mandrell's sister used to have commercials for.
Yes.
Yes. And so every time I use it now, I'm always like, that was Barbara Mandrell's sister used to. Yep. That's how much I know about the Barbara Mandrell show. So hopefully.
Great.
Yeah. So hopefully maybe we could get an endorsement.
Maybe. Is it too late? So another talking point for you people listening.
What do you mean, you people?
You people, my people. My throngs of people.
I know what you're talking about.
Or as Mick Foley would say, the dozens and dozens.
I was literally about to say my dozens of listeners. How do you feel this stacks up with Weird Al's quote love songs up to this point? You've got One More Minute, which is like an anti-love song. You've got Good Enough for Now, which is a kind of pseudo-sincere country love song parody, and then you've got this, which is just frantic. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with you. You make me want to do crazy things.
Or to Bob's point,
I hate you.
I'm very angry at you.
So would you say like One More Minute?
I like this because, as Al pointed out himself, it's more of a pure love song than the ones that come before. Though we'll get to my favorite song, which is You Don't Love Me Anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song. That is easily one of my top 5 songs for Weird Al.
Yeah.
That song actually provides me with one of my favorite memories of Lauren, which we went to karaoke not long after I moved here, and I put it in at karaoke, and like, because I wanted to sing it, like, not to be like, oh, I'm going to impress the Weird Al lady. Like, I wanted to sing it.
Right.
And like, that sweeping chord started, and she had a look on her face like I was about to sing, like, in key, the best like Bon Jovi song ever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just about like she looked like I was about to sing like Bed of Roses by like Bon Jovi or something. And like it, like, no offense to Al, but like You Don't Love Me Anymore is not hard to sing at all.
Right.
And the look on her face, I was just like, I can't screw this up now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I literally was just like, I had like all the pressure in the world on me to sing it right. And I was just like, I just wanted to sing this. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
But the look on her face.
Now you get all the pressure.
Yeah, I know. It was like all the pressure in the world. I was just like, oh my God,
Well,
but I was like, I don't think anyone in the world has ever had a woman look at them so happy over singing You Don't Love Me Anymore.
that's me.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, but I've always adored One More Minute. So like up till now, I would still pick One More Minute, the 3.
Ooh, so I'd like to see. Okay, we need tiebreakers.
Yeah. So folks, what do you
comment.
think? What do you think? Is there some kind of headcanon where one more minute happens, he breaks up with one person and then he lands on somebody else and she's good enough for now, and then he breaks up with that person and he finds the person that you make me and he becomes so obsessed with that person that he does all of these weird things and then, she doesn't love him anymore? On You Don't Love Me Anymore? Is that a trajectory? Is that somebody's love life?
It's very possible.
Comment below.
Very possible.
Well, that's all I have.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Bye.
Okay. No,
Guess I'll just roll my chair away.
yeah, roll the chair away.
Yeah, and next time people hear from me, it'll be a polka.
It will be. Polka Bob will be back for polka.
be a
Thank
polka.
God Shaw will be right with the world.
Yes.
Polka Bob will be back for polka. Next time, we have a second-time guest. It is 2F Jeff from the Suggested Articles podcast. 2F Jeff is fun because his podcast is all about the stuff that we talk about, where it's the things that you Google that affect the things that you see, and how much are we actually being listened to by the devices around us, and all that jazz. So he's got a show that will creep you out, but 2F Jeff does a show, his podcast, with another man named Jeff who only has one F. And so I think it's appropriate that Jeff, who does a show with another Jeff, is on my podcast, where 2 episodes ago we had Jeff, and this Jeff is going to be on to talk about I Think I'm a Clone Now.
Sounds good to me.
Lots of Jeffs.
So many Jeffs.
So many Jeffs. I'm going to get confused. But that's a me problem.
But yeah, I'm excited. That's going to be a good one because I just love that parody, and I love the Tiffany version, and there was the whole thing. That Tiffany's one of those things that people can point and snicker at now, but when she was happening, it was a big
It was
deal.
huge.
Big deal. Huge deal.
Yeah.
So,
Because it was the girl version of a boy band.
Sure.
yeah. Well, and
very
I mean,
much so.
and we'll get into it on the
Yeah.
episode, but there was the thing where like the New Kids were opening for her, and then it swapped. They got big enough to where she ended up halfway through the tour. She ended up opening for them, and so on. It was a whole thing. So
Yeah.
That's little things that people don't even know now, so, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get into all that
It's going to be a good time.
next week.
Well, Polka Bob, thank you for coming to talk on our Even Worse series, even though there was not a polka. We're so happy to have you here when you
Polka
show up.
Bob lowered himself to come down to the commoners and speak on matters of regular importance and non-polka,
Yeah.
Step
down from the mountaintop that is polka.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's okay. When I come back, we get to talk about what I feel is an underrated polka.
Oh, I agree.
And the one that I probably could sing from end to end without stopping most easily without background music, because it is the one that is just ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
So
there's some good lines in it too. Yeah.
There's some great stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to talk about that. But that's next time.
There's some
next
good
time.
lines in it. Yeah, well, the Rolling Stones were a fairly popular band. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Were they? They were pretty
Were
big,
they?
huh?
Yeah, they sold a few albums. I'll have to look it up, but I think that they had a career for a few years. I'll have to look it up.
We'll have to look that up. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we're gonna wrap things up here, and stay weird as always, and be kind, bring joy, repeat. Goodbye.